there. As far as the stock performance, I mean, Mark, there's a lot of optimism around delivery numbers, which we should get next year. What's your sense of demand? It was a year that we expected demand to fall off, and it did a little bit for EVs, but not so much for Teslas, especially with the price cuts.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Sarah. I mean, beginning of last year, Tesla got very aggressive with price cuts. It depressed their margins, but it did increase their volumes. And I think that's partly reflected in their stock performance this year. I also think when you see some of the established automakers like GM and Ford and others who have, recently announced that they're pulling back on some of their aggressive EV investments, that's also helped the stock. And I think as you look at 2024, I think it's going to be another year of growth and drama for the company.
In just a few days, Tesla will hold its Q4 2023 earnings call, and there's a lot we can expect to be announced at this event. The automaker recently released its Q4 2023 delivery numbers, and it was truly remarkable. But can we expect something similar for earnings? Let's see.
And the Tesla delivery numbers are just out. Phil LeBeau joins us for more on that. Phil, you're back.
I am, Becky, and these are better than expected numbers from Tesla in terms of topping its own guidance, as well as better than what analysts were expecting. Let's start first off with Q4 deliveries of 484,507 vehicles. The street was expecting closer to 473,000, so better than analyst expectations. And because of those deliveries topping 475,000, they topped their full year delivery guidance of 1.8 million vehicles. Officially, it's 1.808 in terms of 1,808,000 vehicles delivered in 2023, an increase of 38%. And again, the street guidance, or I should say Tesla's guidance, was for delivering 1.8 million vehicles. By the way, fourth quarter production, just under 495,000 vehicles. We will get the fourth quarter and full year financial results after the bell on the 24th of this month. So what, 3 weeks away in terms of when we hear from Elon Musk in terms of the setup. And that's also, by the way, guys, when we are likely to get the company's guidance for deliveries for 2024. That's when we will probably get them, again, 3 weeks from now.
Tesla recently released its Q4 2023 production and delivery report. And not only did the automaker exceed its annual targets for sales last year, but it delivered more than 484,000 cars in the final quarter alone. This news has many analysts reiterating their bullishness on Tesla, and many even claim that it's the best year for sales that Tesla's ever had. But can we expect the same for earnings? Well, it's possible, and today we'll consider 10 things that could possibly happen before Tesla's 2023 Q4 earnings call, as well as why these factors could have a positive effect on Tesla's numbers. So let's get on with it.
The stock has had a banner year in 2023, more than doubling. Can that hot streak continue as the headlines pile up and Elon Musk continues to be preoccupied with X? Former Ford CEO and interim Hertz CEO Mark Fields joins now with his outlook for Tesla in 2024. I just want to read you part of this statement from Tesla because they acknowledge the article. I'll say they published an article that leads with wildly misleading headline, is riddled with incomplete and demonstrably incorrect information. And then they go through point by point what they see as wrong. For instance, blaming the drivers for failures, the reality Tesla paid for most of the 120,000 vehicle repairs under warranty, et cetera, et cetera. Does this seem like it presents a big risk for Tesla?
Well, Sarah, every car company has their issues on quality around vehicles. I think the interesting thing about this is they do note that they've repaired about 120,000 vehicles. That's a large percentage for the number of vehicles that they have in their, what they call the car park, all the vehicles that they have out there in the marketplace. That's the thing that sticks out. When you have that large of a percentage, usually where there's smoke, there's fire. And listen, as you know, Sarah, in the article, Tesla does not have a communications department. So, trying to kind of work with the writers to kind of clarify things before they come out with, that's not Tesla's MO. So, this is part of the ramifications of that.
I was wondering if this came from Elon Musk himself. I'm not sure who's running communications there. As far as the stock performance, I mean, Mark, there's a lot of optimism around delivery numbers, which we should get next year. What's your sense of demand? It was a year that we expected demand to fall off, and it did a little bit for EVs, but not so much for Teslas, especially with the price cuts.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Sarah. I mean, beginning of last year, Tesla got very aggressive with price cuts. It depressed their margins, but it did increase their volumes. And I think That's partly reflected in their stock performance this year. I also think when you see some of the established automakers like GM and Ford and others who have, recently announced that they're pulling back on some of their aggressive EV investments, that's also helped the stock. And I think as you look at 2024, I think it's going to be another year of growth and drama for the company. Probably less so on growth in 2024 because there's no new high volume products. And who knows on the drama? That'll be either more or less depending upon Elon and how he go about things.
Number 1, official announcement of the Model 3 Plus. While Tesla's not officially announced a Model 3, there have been rumors about a possible refresh of it, like including a new battery pack, a heat pump, or a redesigned exterior and interior as well. The refreshed Model 3 promises to be a fascinating upgrade, and we expect Tesla to officially start the ramp of this model very soon. Hey guys, welcome back to Tesla Tomorrow. Number 2, science and evidence of a Cybertruck ramp. Tesla has started selling a tailgate ramp accessory for the Cybertruck, which can be used to load heavy gear or vehicles into the bed. The company has also expanded its online and airport advertising to promote the truck and its new features. There's also been a few comments about whether or not Tesla will actually ramp up production of Cybertruck production. And while there are some analysts who don't believe that Tesla can manufacture a lot of them, there are others like Sandy Munro who say that Tesla can scale up Cybertruck production.
Yeah. Sandy, I called you at the top of the show the teardown titan. I just want to explain to our audience, you're principally an automotive engineer, right? And you kind of rose to prominence because you take new vehicles, tear them apart right down to the individual nuts and bolts, and assess what they're made of, assess their efficiency. You have been in the factory, and I wanted to ask you, based on the design of this vehicle and what you saw down in Austin Giga, how many do you think they're going to be able to build initially this year or the remainder of this year, next year?
That's kind of a tough question because there's a lot that determines whether or not you're going to be able to push out those products. A lot of it has to do with the supply chain, and there's a lot of things that kind of push you in different directions as far as launch is concerned. What I saw was running at 60 jumps per hour, and that's kind of normal. The rest of the factories that I've seen, the rest of the Tesla factories are running at 42, 43 seconds per cycle or per station. That's fast. That's really fast. So if they could keep that momentum up, in 12 months, they should be able to do easily 250. It depends on how many, how many shifts you've got and whatnot, but they should easily be able to do 250,000 a year at that rate, 250 to 500,000, depending on how many shifts.
Yeah, and certainly Musk saying that 250,000 units possible by 2025. I'm interested, Stanley, in ultimately, how does this disrupt the pickup truck market at large? You keep on showing the sort of F-150, in particular, the EV competitor there, and how the price point is a lot cheaper there, even though Elon Musk himself said, look, it looked expensive at the time. How do you think it compares to the rest of the market?
Well, everybody's been trying to say that they're all pickup trucks, but really and truly, there's a distinct user difference between the Rivian, the Lightning, the Cybertruck, and say something like the Hummer. They're not really tuned to attack the same market. They all can do pickup truck kind of work, but I think that the average person who's got a construction company is probably going to be going for a Lightning. The guy who wants to go to the grocery store and every once in a while pick up a 2x4, that's probably the Rivian kind of story. The Hummer, I don't know who that is, but I can tell you, for me, I'm going to be brutally frank here. I'm trying to get a hold of two of them, and one is going to be my drive because. For me, if you're an outdoorsman, you got quads, you got hunting on your mind, hunting or fishing or whatever. This is the truck for you. This is what I'm truly looking for.
Sandy Munro has been following the Cybertruck development closely and has praised Tesla for creating a whole new market with it. He also had a chance to talk with Elon Musk about the Cybertruck's production challenges and opportunities. The car expert and Tesla bull recently had a private tour of the Cybertruck factory, and he spoke with Tesla executives. And then in a later interview, Sandy revealed some very fascinating information. He claims that the Cybertruck line is already doing about 60 jobs per hour, translating to 60 trucks per hour, meaning that in a 40-hour work week with one shift, that would be 2,400 trucks a week, or about 125,000 a year. Sandy Munro further went on to predict that in 12 months, Tesla will be at 250,000 to 500,000 Cybertrucks per year, with a pretty wild run rate, depending on the number of shifts. This goes to show that a lot of people are still unaware of the huge growth potential Tesla has with the Cybertruck. Before we carry on though, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on post notifications to keep up to date on everything going on with Tesla. Number 3. Rollout of FSD version 12. Tesla has introduced a new version of FSD in the US, which is expected to bring in some pretty big improvements and possibly even drop the beta label. According to Tesla, this new version is expected to be rolled out to over 15,000 vehicles. Some recent events may also prove that Tesla's FSD is about to exit this phase, and the automaker may soon reach full autonomy with its FSD software. Tesla has started releasing to employees its FSD version 12 update, which apparently is critical to Tesla achieving its self-driving effort. And according to Elon Musk, the new FSD update is mind-blowing and features some new neural network-based vehicle control systems that can handle complex scenarios better than the previous version. Tesla plans to release FSD version 12 to the public soon, after collecting more feedback and data from employees. Elon Musk also recently disclosed that FSD is expected to reach level 4 or 5 autonomy soon, which means that the vehicle will be able to drive itself anywhere with minimal or no driver intervention. Interestingly, despite the challenges and controversies around FSD, there are signs that Tesla is making good progress towards achieving full autonomy. One very convincing one is that Elon Musk recently followed computer expert Andrej Karpathy on X after allegedly unfollowing him for a few months. The computer scientist who served as the director of AI and autopilot vision at Tesla parted ways with the auto company after taking a sabbatical, even though he didn't share why he chose to leave. But you may ask, why is this a big deal? Well, Andrej is, in a way, the public face of Tesla's full self-driving program, and is one of those who spearheaded the automaker's shift towards AI. Very few Tesla executives ever managed to emerge from behind the shadow of Musk to carve a name for themselves. However, Karpathy was able to step into the spotlight effortlessly, and this was because of Tesla's FSD. Therefore, the latest action by Elon Musk on X could be a sign that Tesla is making a big move with its FSD software. Number 4. Record-breaking numbers at Tesla's Mexican plant. Not long ago, Elon Musk dropped a bombshell, a brand new factory coming to Mexico. And not just any old factory though, it's a gigafactory, commonly known as Gigafactory 5. Tesla is planning to build a new factory in Mexico near Monterrey, where it's going to produce battery-grade lithium hydroxide for its EVs. This investment and introduction is said to be worth more than $5 billion, and the factory will have the capacity of 1 million vehicles per year. Remember when Elon Musk teased us with the idea of a sub-$30,000 Tesla back in 2020? Well, that's where this factory's magic is happening.
All right, Tesla announced it will build what it's calling a gigafactory in Mexico. The electric vehicle maker will build the facility almost 400 miles away from Tesla's headquarters in Austin. New York Times business reporter Jack Ewing is here with us in Studio 57 to discuss. So this is a big deal. What does this announcement mean for the company, and why are they doing it?
Well, I think the reason is all about cost, that they can produce more cheaply in Mexico, and this is part of a plan to produce a new vehicle or vehicles that will be cheaper, more affordable than what Tesla has on the market right now.
So this was kind of pitched as an investors meeting, and you had pointed out, and others have pointed out, it got super, super wonky, and like if you're not into the engineering and the science, you probably started to doze off. But what I thought was sort of interesting about it is there has been a real push for a lot of companies to keep their manufacturing within at least North America, particularly after all the supply chain hiccups that we saw. The other big, Tesla has a factory in Germany, and they have another one in China. And so I thought to myself, oh, he's trying to tell investors, I'm focusing on North America, I think, and I'll be able to crank out cars no matter what happens globally.
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of the messages, and that's the big advantage of Mexico, that you can produce there less expensively than you can in the United States, but then you can ship the cars to the United States and Canada duty-free.
The factory is envisioned to become a significant manufacturing hub for Tesla, focusing on producing EVs, batteries, and related components. Tesla isn't just building a factory, but it's crafting an eco-friendly masterpiece. And sustainability is the name of the game. The automaker wants its factory to be as green as its EVs, aligning with its commitment to environmental responsibility. This factory isn't just about boosting production, rather, it's like hitting the accelerator. And this is why the revolutionary move right here allows Tesla to produce more cars. More cars means better batteries, means skyrocketing global demand for EVs, putting Tesla in a very profitable position. Number 5. Good news for Tesla's lithium refinery. Tesla will be shaking off its lithium dependency and earning federal tax credits with its new Tesla refinery in Robstown, Texas. According to the filing from the Texas Comptroller, the automaker will probably be investing up to $375 million into the build of the facility. This refinery is Tesla's latest expansion into Texas, which began with the company's move when it relocated its headquarters to the state of California in 2021. Tesla invested nearly $6 billion into its Austin Gigafactory last year, and it said that this new facility will make Tesla the only big American car company producing its own lithium, and it will make it easier to fulfill the Made in USA subsidy requirements for getting the billions in tax credits doled out under the auspices of the Inflation Reduction Act. The refinery is also going to push Tesla outside of its core focus of building automobiles and into the complex area of lithium refinery and processing, a step which Musk has said is going to be necessary for the car company if it wants to meet its ambitious EV targets. Number 6. Tesla begins advertising. Tesla may consider reversing its long-standing policy of not spending any money on advertising, and it may try a little bit here and there and see how it goes. The company launched its online ads on Google and airport ads in Japan to showcase its products and features, and who knows, it could do more. Tesla has also worked on a no advertising strategy, and that has worked well for the car company, but the automaker has been able to find customers for every vehicle it could build simply through word of mouth and reputation. Tesla even famously refuses to run a PR department, essentially making it uncontactable for press inquiries. Interestingly, the car company may have finally decided to look in the way of advertising, as Elon Musk hinted in a previous note that advertising may focus in on some of its unique and innovative features, which Tesla vehicles are known for, but the broader public may be unaware of. Musk also indicated the brand's advertising could also be informative and entertaining, with a higher focus on content rather than other brands' ads, which tend to focus more on the nuts and bolts of things. Number 7. Hints of increased EV demand. The demand for EVs is booming, with sales expected to grow significantly this year after a record-breaking 2023.
The world is evolving, actually, I think, even more closely to what we expected. Because we expected a lot of traditional auto manufacturers to see the writing on the wall and rush as quickly as they could into scaling big time into electric vehicles. And what has happened recently? Both GM and Ford have said, we're stepping back. We're not going to do this until it's profitable. The problem with that is, in order to be profitable, they need to scale. That's how this works. These are learning curves that they are riding down, and those are expressed in cost decline. So the fact that they're pulling back means there's more share for Tesla and others who choose to go for it.
Mm. And Cathie, I want to keep the conversation going on Elon Musk, but I want to bring it to the ARK Venture Fund. Of course, it's not an ETF. You invest in private companies, et cetera, in there. And you take a look at the portfolio, you have SpaceX in there, and you also have X, formerly known as Twitter. And in July, you had told the Wall Street Journal that you had written down your Twitter stake by 47%. Fill us in on the past couple of months. Have you written it down further, or how has that changed?
No, I think it's still there. We have to be very careful. This is an interval fund. It is a 40 Act fund, and we have to market every day. The good news is our clients can get in and have access to these amazing companies for just $500, and they get quarterly liquidity. So that's the good news. The markdowns are simply, if we see in the secondary market employee stock trading at a steep discount, we have to take that into account. If we see others in the more traditional asset management world, like Fidelity and others, marking their holdings down, we need to take that into consideration during our daily mark to market. So it's an abundance of caution. We have a 5-year investment time horizon. Do we think that's where X belongs in terms of valuations? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A roughly $20-ish billion valuation for what we believe truly will become the everything app. Think WeChat Pay. Elon started his entrepreneurial career in the payments industry, and he's been thinking about this for a long time. He now has money transmitter licenses in more than half of all of the states, which we learned on Twitter Spaces, or on X Spaces, I should say, the other day when we had our interview with him. So that's exciting. He's going for it.
Tesla is leading the market with its high performance and affordable models and has also increased its market share. And as we wait for news of Tesla's Q4 earnings, we expect the media to release news of significant growth in EV demand. Number 8, Q4 sales forecast. Before we finally hear what the news is from Tesla, it's very likely and almost certain that we'll see some forecasts for Q4 of 2023. Several analysts will release their predictions and forecasts for the automaker, with some betting low and others betting high. The other two events that could happen before Tesla's Q4 earnings call could be hiring hints in production plants at Tesla's factories, as well as other mega factory announcements by Tesla. Some recent reports also claim that Tesla's ramping up hiring of its mega factory in California, where it aims to produce 40 gigawatt hours of megapacks per year. The car company is also looking for more workers for its gigafactory in Texas, where it's going to produce the Model Y and Cybertruck. While Tesla's not announced another megafactory yet, it has been speculated that the automaker may build one in India, where it is recently registering itself as a subsidiary. What other events do you think could happen before Tesla's Q4 earnings call? Let us know down below, and let us know what your valuation of Tesla is. And if you want to know more about what Tesla's been up to over the last few days, go ahead and click on this next video on your screen. See you there.